What are you guys doing over here?
I don't know, Mike.
What are you doing over there? Is this thing on?
There we go.
Yeah, we're there.
We're there. This is Carlos, man. What's your call sign?
KD9OLN. It's a rare one.
It's a rare one? Yeah.
It is rare.
And I want to know, what is your most memorable activation?
Dude, off the top of my head, you kind of put me in the spot, but the very first time I got a super young person on the air while I was under Parachute Mobile, I believe it was N9BLE's daughter. I want to say that was late last year, and I got her again this year. I love the idea of getting these kids into the hobby that we have, so hopefully we can get them teased in so we can have more operators later on in life.
I love it. And what did we do yesterday?
I don't know about you, but I threw myself out of a perfectly good airplane. How about you? Did you go?
I was there with you going down with another jump instructor getting tossed out of an airplane too again, and that video's already live.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Did you have a blast?
Oh, it was awesome, man.
I got to take KO4AFL, Steve, and I got to take Renee 6. I don't know her call sign. Is it K5 SIX?
You gotta put me on the spot. K5 SIX.
I know it's SIX, but
that's Vern.
But they both have an SIX ending, so I think hers is K5 SIX.
Okay.
I think. Vern, if I'm wrong.
We're
Renee,
sorry.
if I'm wrong, I'm sorry.
We love you still.
Yeah, we love you dearly. So.
Well, that's
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, man, just checking out the floor. How about you? You getting some good stuff out?
I haven't checked out the swap market yet, but I'll be out there in a little bit.
There's a couple of deals out there. I was tempted to buy. There's an amplifier out there that I was like, I just sold an amp and I don't really want to buy another amp, but at that price I can't beat it. So I might be getting an amp for my pickup truck so that I can run my 705 and have HF as
nice.
at 100 watts.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, Carlos, man, have fun today.
You too, dude.
I'm with the amazing, the awesome, the talented Dennis. Your call sign?
AD6DM.
I am so psyched that season 2 is finally dropping.
Yeah,
I can't wait, and one day I'll be a guest again.
Yes, you will be soon.
Awesome.
Yes.
So my question for the HamFest is, what is your most memorable activation?
Well, since I haven't activated much, I'm not really a POTA guy or a SOTA guy, really. My last activation, which would be up on, I can't even remember, it was W6 something, WC234, I don't know. Go to my YouTube, you'll see my latest activation. Yeah, I remember this, every SOTA I've ever done, I get so exhausted. Like everyone, you see like Charlie or K6ARK or even back in the day, KG6HQD, they're just like, doo-doo, this is so awesome.
Yeah.
Here I am.
Those footage is in the first 5 miles of the trail.
Yeah, they get to the top and they look beautiful, basically. Me, I'm drenched in sweat. I got all these sweat stains all over my body, and I'm just exhausted and breathing heavy. I can't even talk straight. So the last SOTA that I went on was my most memorable because it was one of those. I was like, when are we going to get to the top? And I was with Dan, AI6XG, and he's just like, he's walking like he's taking a little stroll, and he didn't seem that winded at all. He says he was, but he didn't look it. And so yeah, every SOTA I do, very memorable because it almost kills me every time.
Well, I'm glad you make it back down to one piece and continue to pump out that season 2 for us.
Yes.
But thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Have a good HamFest, man.
Good seeing you, man.
Good to see you finally. I'm with JoeBrett, someone or other. Something. What's your call sign, man?
K5YVY.
And what is your most memorable activation?
Well, just jumping into it, I think a couple years ago up here at the Huntsville HamFest, we was at Monte Sano, and I thought it would be real easy. I was having problems trying to, I didn't bring no HF radio with me, so I was trying to activate the park on 2 meters, which is very possible, but I was having a little trouble, and I wanted an HF activation. Then I I met some guys in the park, and they said, "Hey, you can use my radio." Got the 10 and celebrated it, and I was with a bunch of friends. So
That'd be a celebration, drinks afterwards.
yeah.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you for coming on,
Frank.
and have a good HamFest.
All right, you too.
Ham Radio Adventure Guy.
Tank Radio.
Ham Radio Adventure Guy.
Tank Radio.
Ham Radio Adventure.
Tank Radio.
My question for the HamFest is, what is your most memorable activation?
Wow, my most memorable activation.
This guy, most memorable activation.
That's a tough one.
And you activate every day? Are you still on goal
I'm
for that?
Still on goal for that. Most memorable would probably be my very first late shift ever, because it was the first time I ever got my butt kicked in a pileup.
Yeah?
Yeah, the very first time. I was brand new to POTA, and I did Jekyll Island down in Georgia, and I did late shift, and I was not ready for a late shift, and I did like 170 some contacts in like 40 minutes, and I was like totally
Wow.
overwhelmed. And I'll never forget that moment.
Yeah. Oh,
But
man.
it also was the moment that I realized I love pileups.
Yeah, pileups are amazing. They're fun. And it's sad when you have like 4 or 5 people right on top of you, and they're like, great, you work one, and everyone goes away. What did I say? You went away. But hey, man, you enjoying the HamFest?
Having a blast. It's always a great time to come to Huntsville.
Now, tell me about the activation you did last night.
Last night we did a 12 operator activation from the deck of my cabin. We ate 16 pounds of brisket
16?
and made 200 plus contacts in 59 minutes.
What? That's awesome. How many radios?
Only one radio.
What was it?
Last night we used an ICOM 7300.
7300s are good. They're good radios. Do a lot of good work. What's your antenna?
Eagle 1 last night.
Eagle 1?
Eagle 1.
I don't know what that is.
Oh my goodness, it's only the greatest POTA antenna invented.
Yeah?
That's right. Risky One Radio Charlie Papa says we have a mouse control for that. The Eagle One.
Where do I find it?
Eagle1.com.
Eagle1.com? All right, we'll go check it out. I'll put in a link if I remember. I'm here with John, man, and what's your call sign?
N9 UPC.
And I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Okay.
What is your most memorable contact? Or not, sorry, that was last fest. What is your most memorable activation? POTA, SOTA, field day?
Actually, it's the most memorable one is we do the Wires X Santa Net every year.
Ooh, tell me
Yes.
about that.
So we go ahead and have people sign up, and through Wires X, we have Santa hop on from the North Pole, and he talks to all the boys and girls that sign up.
I like that. So Santa does an HF net. Now he also does a Wires X net.
Yep.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to get on there because I've been good this year.
Have you
If
been?
you can, yes, you can tell by the channel.
Yes.
I've been great. I've been loving y'all and putting a good contact out there.
Yeah, no, it's good, and we even record it, and we send the recordings of the event off to the people there and stuff like that, and we've had a lot of people that have been very grateful for it. So that's my most memorable activation event.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you, John, and have a good HamFest.
Thank you.
I'm here with Jason, and what's your call sign?
KC5HWB.
It's for the format.
Okay.
We all know who you are.
Fine.
What is your most memorable activation?
When we went to the first time I ever went on a de-expedition to Costa Rica, I think it was 2015. I sat down at the radio and I operated 15 meters for like 12 hours straight and just worked pileups.
Wow.
And that's the most fun of it. I was I've been a general for about a year and a half at that point, and that was the most fun I've ever had in ham radio. We've been back to Costa Rica 3 or 4 times since then, and it's just as fun every time. And POTA is basically that inside the USA.
Yeah.
So the people get to experience now what being the DX means. If you're operating POTA, you're working pileups that are all calling to you. But the first time I ever did it was before Parks in the Air existed as a DX station in Costa Rica, and that's definitely my most memorable time.
All right. Thank you very much.
You bet. Thanks, Frank.
I'm with Steve. What's your call sign?
KM9G.
Yes, I love it. I love it. And what is your most memorable activation?
My most memorable activation. It's kind of they're all really pretty good. That's a good question. We're gonna have to like pause the edit here and let me think about that a little bit.
We can ponder.
I did a kilo in a weekend.
Yes.
And that was kind of interesting because I was like really focused on doing radio and not really focused on like being present in the weekend. And now that I'm here doing a kilo in a week, I'm like, oh, I could do that like every weekend because I can just, FT8 from bed. I didn't think about that, but bring your house with you and you can do all kinds of cool stuff. I do think that doing SSB park activations is actually faster than doing FT8 activations. Yes. You kind of get a rhythm going, and you get to pile up, and you get to talk to friends.
But the pileups on single sideband are much more fun to run through and much more exciting and higher energy. But there is some time where even I'm like, I want to sit down and doing the FT8, and it kind of slows it down, especially if you're trying to cook or eat. But majority of the time, I'm a single sideband guy.
So a memorable hunting experience. There was this guy that was working a pileup, and I tossed my call sign out for the pileup, and I was like, all right, he didn't get me, whatever. He's starting to work through, and then I realized he heard every single call sign in that pileup, and he was working them all individually, and then he called me, like number 9 in the pileup. He called me, and I'm like, how did you do that? That's a skill I do not have.
That is awesome. Hey!
Just payback, buddy.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Well, thank you very much, Steve.
Thank you, Frank.
I'm with now Chuck. What's your call sign?
KK6USY.
And what is your most memorable activation?
Activation?
Activation.
Okay. Shoot, I don't know. I mean, I've done so many, I can't just bring them back. Well, I love doing the summits on the air stuff.
Yeah.
And we just did, Javi is one of my buddies I met through an activation. Actually, I'd say that's my most memorable, Mount Pacifico, when I got to meet a bunch of YouTubers.
Yeah.
And then I started doing it, so that was pretty fun. This guy here, see you, Josh.
Adios, Josh.
What else? Got another question?
No, that's about it. I just want to know what your memorable activation
was. What was yours?
Mine? I answered this yesterday.
See,
now you're putting me on the spot.
I just reversed this. This is KK6USY Ham Radio Adventures. Today we're interviewing
Take Radio. It's KG5HJ. I almost said
that was KB now.
I almost said KV5YVY. My most memorable activation, I'm going to say, was Field Day this past year. I got South America and a lot of other DX contacts. And I was able to operate the radios right off the bat and experience the madness of the bands. And that was fun for a while. And I did appreciate then eventually rolling to FT8 and getting some FT8 contacts.
Well, thanks for joining me today and on my show. And
I appreciate it. Well, thank you, and have a good HamFest.
We'll see you.
What's going on there, Ham Radio dude, man? Go ahead.
I'm just having a good time, Tim.
Good time. Look at those sunglasses, man.
Yeah, they've kind of become part of me. Do you know how I got these glasses?
No.
I know this isn't all about me, but I was cleaning up the ocean in Florida during that flood a few months ago. I was down there, and they were on the beach, and I was like, man, and they became a part of the image and the thing I'm all about.
I love it.
I was like, man, this is it.
It totally fits your personality and totally fits you, dude.
It's cool. Yeah.
So my question for the HamFest is, what is your most memorable activation?
Okay, yeah. In California, was at a summit, and it was also a park at El Dorado National Forest, and I was in shorts and a hoodie. In fact, I was in these shorts and this hoodie because that's part of the image, right? That's just me. And it was a beautiful drive up there, beautiful scenery in the high mountains rather. And as we got up there, the snow just started coming, and there had to be, 4 or 5 inches of snow by the time we got to the top of the summit.
Wow.
And with an IC705, and I believe I was plugged into external power, 10 watts, I got a sideband contact to France.
France!
So here I am in shorts in a snowstorm on the top of a summit in the El Dorado National Forest, and it was just beautiful.
Oh, wow. That's a good story.
Yeah, it was absolutely.
That's a great activation.
In fact, if you like, I'll send you some video of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go ahead and post it in the link below.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, thanks, man. Have a good
Pleasure to be
HamFest.
here. Thank you, man. As always, go forth and conquer.
Yes.